Well, as you can see, I think I've made a mistake. A really big one. And this just happens. And you can see I've sewn this is the side that you saw in the last video. And this is the side that I went ahead and sewed on. Now you may be asking, why did I do that? Well, I needed something to hold this up. I didn't want to take the whole thing apart. So I want to show you how I will take things apart when I have to. And I rarely, if ever, use a seam ripper with felt because it just does not work well. And basically what I do is, it's usually like once every other stitch, I'm coming in and pulling this out. Now I'll go around, and some of you are saying, well, why don't you just take out this one little piece? Well, it's all connected, and I don't want to mess with what I would have to do to anchor those stitches in. I don't want the glue that I would have to use. And you can see here, all I do then is just loosen it and pull it out with a pair of tweezers. It's not that hard. Now the reason, like I said, the reason I did this is I'd already clipped this side so it fit. So I went ahead and just sewed in this piece. But as you can see, when I'm sewing this particular kind of head, the dog heads, the puppy heads that I have, I sew up to a point. I add the ear in. And if you've used any of my patterns before, like the little kitty pattern, the little kitten pattern, the ears are sewn in the exact same way. So you can see here, this is what it looks like, and it's, let me get in here a little bit more. Nip. And I like this because I can pull it away, and I have to do a motion to actually end the thread. So let's just pull these out, and then I want you to peek on the inside, see what it looks like on the inside. I haven't actually made this mistake in a very long time. I think it's because it's just cold right now, and I'm not at 100% right now. I'm not feeling, I'm like at 90%. It's cold and I don't like it. You can see in here, you can see where the ear is, and you can see those little wires poking out. Now the reason I fold those in is so they don't snag on anything, like the felt. Same thing with the ear here. I've got these right here. So what I may actually do, now that I'm thinking about it, is I'm gonna see if I can do this. I'm gonna go through and pull these out, because I can't remember. No, I can't. I think I have a knotted piece right here, which, oh wait, no I don't. I think, where is the knot? It's right there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to, and you notice I'm using my tweezers, but I'm holding them together. I'm going to pull this out until I have enough thread where I can knot it off, and then pick up on this side with another piece of thread that I've got going and finish it out. I think a couple more stitches should do it. Now with this, I can knot this off. Let's see, I'm going to pick a slightly larger needle because I'm putting 2 through here. Well, this is getting messy. And yes, I am one of those people who sticks the thread in my mouth. I just do. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is, instead of taking all of this out, is I'm going to give this a knot, which means more than likely I'm going to put something over this. And then, like I said, I always hide my knots in the tail. Well, not the knot necessarily, but the tails. And felt is really nice for being able to kind of go through that. And I always take my, you can see right there, that tiny little bit right there. I take my needle end and just kind of rough over that surface, and it disappears. So now what I can do is I have another piece threaded up, ready to go. And now I just need to come back in, and this is going to make for some interesting stuffing, because now I've got this piece here. I can go ahead and anchor this with a couple of stitches. And again, you can see I'm using that alternate instead of doing this because I just don't have enough space to do it. I can't get all the way around it. I'm still stopping and lining up. And figuring out, where did my other ear go? Here it is. Where the ear position's gonna go. And then for me, like how far the ear needs to go in. I could mark that, but I'm not exactly the best person with, I just kind of do stuff. So it's like, okay, that looks pretty even. I'm just gonna hold it here and then continue stitching. And you can see I've got a little bit of a gap there. I'm not having too much of a heart attack about that because number one, it's a small gap. And number two, that gap will get kind of closed up just as I'm going along. Does that make sense? Again, there are times where it's like, I don't know quite how to explain things. It's just like, I don't know why I do it this way. I just do it this way. So you can see here, I'm going to come in, and I always do this because I want there to be a hard knot here. So I pull the thread, you can see I'm holding it down with my finger, and then I come in and give it an anchor. Because I've noticed, I mean, in the past when I've attached ears like this, if I don't have that hard knot and these aren't secured, then when I try to go in and do the sewing here, this begins to like come apart a bit. So I look one more time, and then I'm going to feel. Yeah, I got those about the same. About. It's not exact. There's nothing about my artwork that's exact. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down in between these little pieces, I'm going to poke up in between, and then go into this stitch, and I'm going to flip it around, and whoop, come right back up through that stitch. And this is just a back stitch that I'm doing incredibly neatly, or trying to. Wait, fine, I'm going right back up through that stitch. And I'm keeping about, I don't know, 2 millimeters from the edge. And then I'll continue this all the way down until we get close to the nose, and then I'm going to start stuffing.